welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters. How you feeling, Toronto? Do you know who is coming up here next? How excited are you for that? Now this first player, he's legendary. I could not possibly list his accomplishments. He's the highest earning StarCraft 2 player in history. Just a hair under $500,000. Some call him the boss. I call him brother. But he's a bit peculiar. He's a bit of a funny man. And he told me he doesn't want to come out here unless he really hears his name. And he wants to hear it. Here's how we're gonna do it. This side here, give me some yells, man. How loud are you guys? And how loud are you guys? All right, you got the M's and you got the C, all right? You ready? M, C, M, C, M, C, M, C, M, C, M, C, M, C. And his opponent from Korea, I have been watching him play for a decade. Arguably the most successful pro gamer in any e-sport in the history of this planet. From KT Rolster, some call him God, others call him the ultimate weapon, Flash!
Okay, well, I don't think we're going to get any bigger welcomes to the stage than that this weekend, but just want to make a quick note. Throws like a girl.
That was the boss toss you just said that to.
Yeah, I know, but it's okay because we have Korean barbecue with him. I'll tell him then. It's all good. In all seriousness, this is one of those games, isn't it? I mean, we talked about, yeah, if this was in Brood War, this would be a completely different kettle of fish, but it's the level of excitement that these two generate in a crowd. You know, MC's such a fun guy, really puts it out there, but then when he goes in that booth, it's visor down, it's into game, deadly serious, and he's had a great year this year. Finally won a title after 2 years of trying and being in the wilderness, and likewise Flash on a tear recently in the last 2 weeks, 23-3, and now on the verge of GSL round of 16, has just won Pro League with his team, and he can still make it to BlizzCon, only because Team Liquid wrote an awesome write-up about it, because he's got 7% chance.
7%.
7%.
7.
And
Not
for most players would not get a write-up on Team Liquid if they had a 7% chance 2 months out from going to BlizzCon.
It's because Flash is playing the best StarCraft he's played in StarCraft 2 in recent times. He's on a roll. He understands how to play finally. It's taken him a long time. He's been trying a lot of things. I know you can probably speak more about this, being a Terran yourself and studying his development. Trying mech, trying bio, super defensive, aggressive. He's tried everything to try to figure out how to play.
Yeah, and Flash is one of those players. He's a lot like Jaedong in this respect, is when you have such a high level of accomplishments, no matter how long ago they were, people will never forget that, because you've shown, Flash has shown he has the potential to not just be the best, but to be the destroyer of worlds and hopes and dreams. He has shown that he has the potential to win and win and win. And people just wait, because in their heart, they believe he's going to return. The Flash that we once knew will return, and these last couple of months have been the first time that really seems like the truth.
Yeah, we've really seen the clouds have dispersed, the rain clouds have gone. the sunshine started to come through Flash's world, and he started to bloom like a lovely flower in spring, only it's late summer. But MC, he's done all this great stuff on the stage. He's got the crowd behind him. Flash is sitting there backstage. He comes out, just wanders out. He says, "Yeah, all right, whatever." Just stands there. What's he making of that?
I mean,
is he even thinking about that? I mean, normally he's in his booth and he's measuring out his space and exactly where his computer's going to be and the keyboard, and he's very precise about what he wants to do.
I mean, just kind of seeing Flash's persona on stages, I always feel when I look at him, all these jokesters around him, like Parting was in the Pro League finals, making fun of him, saying, "I'm going to beat you." Flash just feels like he just laughs it off and says, "You know what? Say these jokes, do this little dance, do you throwing chocolate into the crowds. I'm going to just beat you in this game, and then we'll see who's the real daddy after this."
And then I'll kick a football into the crowd.
Then I'll kick a football into the crowd with everyone's name of your team on it. I don't think Flash is the kind of guy that plays up. He just comes in, wins, and destroys you.
Expectations for this game? What are we thinking? 3 maps?
I don't know, actually. It's really hard to call because MC is such a tricky guy to play against. For any Terran, for any Zerg, he's capable of absolutely anything from one extreme to the other. And I really feel that Flash is going to play against a guy that he's never really played against properly. This type of player, MC's just made his name off the back of his style.
Yeah, I mean, unpredictability is the key to pretty much everything he's done in WCS over the last, well, probably year and a half, I guess, because, like you say, some people play him thinking, they've got a tactic for him, they know exactly how they're going to play him,
right?
And then he plays a completely different way, and that completely throws them, and they have to react to it. Some do better, like MMA did quite well against it in Season 3 last year of WCS, but this year didn't manage to do it, completely got fumbled by him. Likewise, though, Flash has shown us now that his builds are...
He's solid.
They're solid, much more solid than they used to be. In the past, you would watch him play and you would think, that's a bit aggressive, that's a bit over the top, what are you doing? And it wouldn't work out. And sometimes you then think, he's being a bit too passive, he's not getting in there when he should get in. And he seems to have been indecisive, and yet, more recently, much more decisive. Why? What do you think's happened to him?
The lost in translation from StarCraft 1 to StarCraft 2 has kind of gone away. And that's how it was for every single StarCraft 1 player that switched to StarCraft 2. At the very first, you don't try and play StarCraft 2. You try and play StarCraft 1 with different units. And the better you were at StarCraft 1, I think the harder that transition is, because you have more habits, more timings. Everything is so ingrained in you. You have so many patterns that you all of a sudden have to break, because these games are not so different. They're obviously different games. They play differently. The skills are very not the same, but at the same time, they're so similar that you can kind of get tricked into thinking that you're still playing the same game.
I mean, when we're being brutally honest about it, we've seen some of the really great players in Wings of Liberty not transfer over to Heart of the Swarm, and that's, it's the same engine, it's the same game in essence, but there's a lot of differences, and we've seen that even that transition between the games has hurt some players. So, not really too much of a stretch to expect that Brew Water, Heart of the Swarm is gonna hurt some of these players. But it's great to have him back. We need people like him to be competing at least. Not dominating, but at least competing in the world of StarCraft. It's great for the scene.
No, it really is. Flash is StarCraft. At the end of the day, him and Jaedong in StarCraft 2, they are StarCraft. So to see them doing well, when Jaedong does well, everyone's behind him. Flash is doing well again. Everyone's behind him. And everyone wants to see him win, because if he wins this tournament, because of his lackluster year until now, he hasn't gained enough points to play at BlizzCon, the end tournaments at the end of the year here. So there's a lot of expectation now on his shoulders. It's starting to come back again like it has been in the past. I think over the last year, a lot of that dropped off, like he's not as good as he was, he can't do it. But now we're seeing that again, and now the expectations are rising once again.
Okay, headset is on. Rulers have been put away, and we're about to find out who the ruler is of the Intel Extreme Masters Toronto. In terms of Group D, Life is already in the upper bracket final. He meets one of these two. Will it be the Boss Toss or the Ultimate Weapon? Let's find out.
Back when Flash qualified for this tournament, MC was actually there, whilst me and Sean were casting the qualifier. We asked MC, do you want to play Flash? Are you not scared of Flash? Like, he's the ultimate weapon. MC said, no, I'm MC. I'm not scared of Flash. That is MC to a T, and that, in essence, describes this match. MC versus Flash in the group stages here at the Intel Extreme Masters Toronto. This is going to be good.
I think it's going to be good, obviously. There's a lot of hype going into this game, and we expect... What do we expect, really, from these players? Fireworks. We expect maybe some mid to long game, but maybe a lot of action before that with an MC who I think did a lot of homework here. I was talking about this match with him. I was asking what does he know about Flash, and he told me, I've studied Flash very, very hard. I've come up with a solution to Flash here, and he basically said, I'm going to show you. That's all he said. He didn't want to go into details too much. So I expect some pretty aggressive builds. Again, Flash in the qualifier for this tournament, he built a lot of Protosses, but he did lose to Zest, who used some very aggressive build. Some 2-base all-in with Immortals on Foxtrot, a lot of Blink Stalkers on Merry-Go-Rounds, and we might see something similar here out of MC, I suspect.
All right, well, we're getting loaded up onto the first game. Overgrowth, what would be our map? What a map to open this up. Let's get into it. Game number 1 now between MC and Flash, as we have spawning up to the top right-hand corner as our Red Terran. He's the highest earning StarCraft 1 player of all time for KT Rolster. Give it up for Flash. And down to the bottom left, our blue Protoss. He's the highest earning StarCraft 2 player of all time. Give it up for MC!
All right, so Flash, if you study his VODs, which I have, and I'm sure MC has as well, you'll notice that he loves to open Rax 12 and then Gas 12 to go for a fairly quick Reaper and then play fairly standard, you know, kind of a Pult build, a Bomber build. He adds on 2 more Barracks, gets a bunch of Bioforces, does the pressure in the mid game with a few of his Bioforces, and then transition to Medivacs and all that. So fairly standard. If MC did his studies here, and which again he should have, there is a few options that he could try and use, especially if he's able to scout what's happening. And we're going to see the Gas 12 go down here for Flash. So if MC again knows what's coming and even sees it, I think adding on something like 2 additional gateways, getting a bunch of gateway units out, especially 2 sentries early on, he can crush that first attack. And then after that, MC, I remember him coaching me a little bit in PVT, and he told me, if you kill a big wave of the Terran army not losing much, you should always throw down an additional Nexus and take 1 more base. So this could be what he might be looking to do here in this series, to try and start with a win on the first map.
Well, likewise, Flash has got to be careful of what MC wants to do as well. MC is a tricky guy. He has a lot of builds available to him. This is why we're seeing Flash start with that gas. Actually sending an SCV over there already to have a little bit of a look around. The Reaper is on the way as well. He's going to want to look around MC's base, know exactly what's going on, because MC's capable of anything.
I think I wonder actually, is he actually going to hide that probe out on the map and try and come back after the Reaper would be out, but then the Reaper is kind of looking for that probe. So already we might have some mind games with that. He might just go home with the probe, knowing that Flash is most likely going to look around his base for it and then go to MC. Yeah, MC, oh no, okay, he's going to hide it, looks like. And usually when you hide it like that, you want to confirm if there's still SCVs mining gas and we see a factory or additional barracks behind this. Nice block here by Flash, but he's going to have to get away here in a second. And it forced the Zealots basically to finish. Because if you cancel that and then an eBay goes down, then you're delayed forever. So
yeah, that's
already
a
a nice, cute move. MC proxying a pylon on the map and going for a second, guys. This may have been triggered from that one SCV blocking his natural. Because when SCV blocks your natural and delay it like this, you a lot of the time are going to go for a second gas because you know you can't make the Nexus on time and you're going to have a lot of money anyway.
And look at Flash. I mean, he already sent out that Reaper down the bottom right-hand side because he knew that probe got away after scouting around. So he was like having a little bit of a look around. Unfortunately for him, up to that top left, as you mentioned, pylon down here, getting pushed away from the middle as well by the Mothership core.
I'm thinking Stargates maybe out on the map because MC knows that Flash always goes for 3 racks and a lot of Bioforces. So in which case, you take the Watchtower, you wait until the Terran heads for you, and you know that he's not a lot of the time not going to scout that Stargate. I mean, it's very hard to expect it in Flash's shoes here.
But Probe is actually going to leave for now, so maybe a little bit of a use later on. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, Stalker trying to hunt that Reaper. Flash still wanting a little bit more information here during this game. Didn't see the Nexus just yet. Can anticipate it kind of going down, but certainly wants confirmation of things.
It's just a pylon for later on then, on which he can warp in some Zealots, make sure he knows when that third base of Flash is going to start, if it does start, which I fully expect it's going to go down at some point. Unless he somehow magically wins before, but I think the boss toss is too good for that. And MC faked aggression here. He went to the middle of the map. Combat shields being made first. So very marine heavy. Pressure is going to be coming up out of Flash. I wonder actually if he attacks before or if he waits until this finishes, because this takes a very long time to go up. It's 110 seconds.
I think overall as well, it serves its purpose defensively too, because of how tricky MC can be. Flash no doubt knows this, and going for stim takes a long time to be able to deal with anything that your opponent is throwing at you as well. So we've seen this in the past from Flash, and unfortunately this Reaper does die, but he sees the majority of the base, so that's okay for him.
Yeah, he saw the robo, but I mean, there could still be something hidden on the map, so he's gonna make sure he stays at home with enough Marines to defend, was an Oracle to fly in or something like that. Flash for now. I guess he's gonna do timing with Combat Shield. You see how many Marines he's amassed? He's making them 4x4 right now, and this is gonna hit hard. Like MC, he's only on 3 Stalkers. He's getting a Sentry behind this. He's definitely, I mean, he's gonna have 1 Photon Overcharge to work with, but is it gonna be enough? There is no Concussive Shell, though.
Yeah, good reaction times there by MC, pulling those Stalkers back. Doesn't want to be taking any damage on these guys, really, in the middle of the map. Poking and prodding here and there, but with that Marauder almost leading the charge at that point, it'll be difficult to do anything.
MC, I think somehow he kind of guessed this could come here, because he knows that Flash likes to go for that 3-rack. So instead of taking double gas on his natural, he went for double additional gateway. They're not going to finish on time for that first wave, but as soon as they're up, they're going to help a lot against all of those units of Flash that could attack him. Combat Shield is up, but I think Flash sees there is enough units here to really fight cost effectively against this, so he's just going to pull back for now.
In the end, Photon Overcharge went down very fast there for MC, because he doesn't want his opponent to get anywhere near him. Why? Because he's got an Immortal in production. He's chrono boosting out another Immortal, and he has a Twilight Council going down behind this as well.
I can't tell if MC is kind of panicking and playing scared, or if this was his game plan all along. Like right now, it kind of looks more like he's panicking, because he saw the amount of units from Flash, and he was a little bit indecisive, I guess. Not able to pick one exact build and actually go for it. So now he throws down double gas at his natural very late. He's going for a Twilight, but I don't know. This doesn't look like much of a build or a plan here out of MC.
Yeah, just kind of making sure that he is sturdy. He is good to go across these 2 bases. What is he going to go from with Twilight Council? Normally, I would say Blink, but MC's a tricky guy again, so could do anything. Doesn't really have the gas to expend anything in right now, as he's just put it into that Observer.
Is he going to go Blink or Charge? Usually with MC, it's almost always Blink, but
yeah, he loves his Blink.
Blink.
Anything else would be not MC.
I don't know, man. I really don't like that in the current situation against Flash, who has so many Marines, so much Bioforces. You need some kind of... You need either Colossus or Storm much earlier than that, but MC in the past has shown that he's a bit of a magician. He wins in these situations and takes fights that nobody else will win and somehow wins them. So I guess it's going to be tricky as well for Flash to engage into a player like MC, who is just so good with the force fields, gets the right composition to fight against big bioforces without AoE.
Army spotted in the middle of the map here, so MC decides to seize the high ground of that ramp, making sure that if this army was to move forwards, it would be trapped. He would Flash would be at a disadvantageous position. The one Marine follows, has a look around. Actually, everything got pulled back. There was an observer spotting that, so he knew exactly what was going on, and he would be spotted if he was at the top of that ramp.
The War Prism is actually going to fly just right above a Marine on the 3rd base of MC. This was spotted.
Oh.
And I mean, it's Flash. You don't even need to wonder. Of course, he saw it, and he's already planning something to try and stop that. Templar Archives go down here for MC, so I'm guessing he wants to go into Storm behind this. But already going for Blink. If you go for Blink, you're committing to a lot of Stalkers, which cost gas. So I really don't know how this is going to go. I really like Flash's position here.
I mean, I gotta say though, like, how often do you see Protoss being able to get away without making any Robo Bay? This is not too common in the moment in the metagame, but MC's getting away with it right now at least.
Yeah. If he had to face a lot of Widow Mines and Marauder heavy composition now, I think he'd be in trouble, but Flash... Oh, there we go. 2 Widow Mines start. I think he's realizing what he's up against.
Yeah.
And again, every second, every minute that passes by, I'm liking Flash's position more and more in this game.
Well, charge is on the way, +1 also on the way here for MC. The Stalkers on the left-hand side have done a good job of deterring that drop from ever happening. And he drops the scan and sees 3 Immortals. He has to be almost certain now about what he's going up against, because no Colossi with 3 Immortals out, and no doubt the Observers that he already killed off 1 or 2, I believe. So.
Supply-wise, if you look at Flash, he's relentless, man. He's spamming mules all the time. Every time he has the energy, he's making sure he's spending that money immediately, and he's so far ahead in terms of supply.
Yeah, difficult to keep up with the micro, that's for sure here for MC. But he's getting a very strong composition. He's going to have Storm out pretty soon. Should be chrono boosting into that, though, as Flash on the right-hand side with 153 supply right now is looking pretty threatening.
Flash saw the Templar Archive, so he knows already. I wonder how much he's going to delay his Ghost Academy. He might not even go for it. He might just try and go for some fights before that, delay that third base, maybe go for big Doom drops in the main, like we've seen Terrence, like Cure, for example, do, and be very successful with against a lot of Protosses.
Well, a few more Zealots being warped in here. I think on the left-hand side as well, there's just a Zealot up on that pylon, so he's just looking for multiple angles to really start the harassment.
Just a single
up.
Viking catches the War Prism now.
Oh, nice.
It's not enough to stop it from dropping the Zealots, so they could do some damage. Flash is gearing up for a big attack at the bottom, by the way.
Zealots?
Storm is now up.
Yeah, Zealot's also doing a little bit of damage at this third base here, so MC already starting this game off pretty well, denying a little bit of the mining time from Flash. It is cleaned up at the end in the main base, but the third base, not so much.
MC is chasing right now with only a few Templars.
How many does he
Templars
have?
are good in this situation. There is no Ghost, but the supply is just... There is just so much more for Flash that I don't think MC should be over-eager to take a fight. Stalker's gonna try to trade units for Blink. 8 SCVs just died, but it's still 56 SCVs to 51, so I think at this point, if Flash just gears up for a big attack, maybe drops in the main at the same time, he would do very well. But it seems like he wants to play it pretty passively.
Still more Immortals on the way, so this is pretty much a Colossus-less style that we're seeing coming out from MC as Flash now. That's a lot of Zealots.
They're going to be trapped. That's a dead end, man.
Yeah, MC also seeing the army in the middle of the map. He's actually moving around on the right-hand side here.
Oh, what's going on?
Those
units were completely missed.
Yeah, everything has been completely missed. He now sees this army on this right-hand side as it does enter the fray at his third base. Zealots are at the natural
steam
as well.
everything in advance. So he's going to steam, not even fighting at the time. He's going to evacuate the third base, and if he has to fight again soon, it has to steam again. Man, Storm is going to eat him up. Remember, he has no Ghost right now.
Right now, the harassment from the Zealots and MC have done really, really well to actually just deny so much time from him. There's a little army on the left-hand side as well, but he takes that down. And landing a few storms as well on this army. Force fields, there's still a lot of storms there left over. He has to be very, very careful about how he engages this. All of his army is a little bit tiered off.
Flash is gearing up for a massive counter-attack on the other side of the map. There is Templars in position with energy for Storm, but his supply is going to drop in the main. There's nothing in position there to stop him from doing damage.
That's a big, big drop. If he can get on top of these gateways, maybe even try and go for the Nexus. A few probes are going to fall very, very fast here. Tries to go for the Storm, doing a little bit of damage, but he could even go for the Nexus if he wants. Oh, a lot of this army's actually going to get caught out of position as well here. Taking down those High Templars. They had a lot of energy for Storm. Flash now really bringing the fight to MC. And MC himself being a little bit ragged. The Nexus goes down as well. A good move so far by Flash.
Some feedback are going to be used on those medivacs, but they're still dropping into the natural of MC, buying time for the rest of the army of Flash to get in position to possibly get a snipe on the third base. MC is falling apart. He has Widow Mines in his main that he's doing nothing about. The probes are not mining there. And Flash, I think, is looking to close out the game, man.
He doesn't have much army against it. Actually, also already repositioned. Zealot's going to charge in. One Immortal. Second Immortal now comes in to try and help this army out. Microing back here as Flash, trying to get good cost-efficient trade against these Zealots. No other damage is being done to this bio. He chews through the Zealots, and now all that's left is the Stalker in Immortal's squishy center, whilst the reinforcements keep getting rallied forwards for Flash. Here come the Storms. Are they going to land? No, they don't! He gets it down. He gets it. And after this, with that Arc honestly morphing in, there's no Zealots to be able to tank against this army. He's going to come micro back, but the Widow Mines get a bit of damage done as well. MC, in terms of supply, is plummeting right now, and he's got to be very, very careful because Flash is just going to keep reinforcing.
Flash was very committed to this attack. Remember, he lost the third CC, so he's remaking it now. He's still, I guess he's 10 walkers behind, but he still has a good army lead, but he just cannot fight with pure bioforces against as many Templars as there was. So now he finally cleaned up those Templars. There's 3 new ones that were just made that don't have Storm yet. He's gonna drop in the main. Somehow MC senses this coming. He comes back.
Tries to drop again. Taking down these Stalkers would be nice. Nice bio Blink micro there, though, to be able to deal with that. But now he's going to get rid of those Immortals. They're the big damage dealers in this. Without any Storm or ability to deal with that. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, he was trying to kite against that. He did actually lose a High Templar over there. But still, Flash is trying to task MC's multitasking to the very limits. Trying to push over here as well. He has enough to be able to clean up these Zealots. And MC right now, he's having a hard time staying above 100 supply.
Yeah. Flash's 2-2 finally finished, and he's down 73 army supply to 40. And again, he's in a good position. It's just so hard to fight against Archons and Templars when you don't have Ghost. He needs to stutter step endlessly. And I think that's just what he's going to do. He's finally saturated his third base.
At this point, I don't think Flash is really going to let up the aggression too much. I mean, he's going to give it a little bit of a lull here. Continue to reinforce. There is an observer keeping an eye on those reinforcements as they come along, but the Ghost Academy has started. You've got to remember that Flash has been competing against this for the entire time without actually having Ghosts in his army against this High Templar style. But he's still up in terms of supply right now, as MC is trying to find little harassment routes with these Zealots, but they're not hitting home. They're not hitting the mark.
Flash wanted to handicap, man. He wanted to make sure he lost some units at least, not like in his GSL games.
Oh, dear me. Big drop once again, getting on top of the entire infrastructure of MC. This is not a good position for MC to be in. He's going to have to fight up a ramp. Thankfully, he's been let up graciously here by Flash, but he's going to be able to micro against it once again. And MC on the other side trying to send in some Zealots for more harassment.
They both keep on doing the same thing. Flash keeps on dropping the main, attacking the third at the same time. MC knows this is going to happen. He always has enough to defend some Templar with Storm. Is already there now, and at the same time he sends in the Zealots into the natural Flash to do some damage, but they're not gonna do much here. They get intercepted, they're gonna be killed, and I think Flash is gonna wanna do the same thing here in a second. He drops in the main and attacks the third base at the same time, but this time MC's in position. Flash scans the main of MC, sees the Stalker in position, and he's not gonna drop. He just scanned that, saw it, he's like, well, I guess I should regroup and attack the third base. If MC does not move back to the third base, he's gonna die there.
MC also had a good observer on the left-hand side, so if any drops were coming along, he would have been able to spot it going into the main base. So that's good vision control there by MC, but he loses one of them in the middle of the map. 3-3 upgrades are now on the way for Flash. Dead even, really, in terms of supply right now.
MC's gonna try and retake his main, and I mean, his only strength are those Templars. As soon as Ghosts come out, it's going to be a different story, but Big Storm is going to hit those Widowmans and some of these Bioforces.
Yeah, that was a nice Storm. I don't think Flash can be able to take on this army just yet. He's going to try and stim back once again, microing against all of this. High Templar walks into the fray, dies off instantly, but the Immortals actually have a lot of firepower behind them. But the Archon's going down. He has to get out of the way of those Zealots. Once they come along to tank for that army, Flash doesn't really want to be there for much longer.
He's getting chased down here a little bit, and he's going to lose some very important medivacs. You don't want to be losing those, Flash. He overextended here a little bit with that attack, could have just waited for the Ghost, but I guess he wanted to make sure he keeps the Templar count low. Big Storm!
Trying to catch that. Flash dances out of it just a little bit there. Once again, has to dance out of the storms, has to micro against all of these Zealots charging on forwards. MC is playing a style here. Once again, no Colossi have entered the field. Widowmine, actually, Kadash is one of those Immortals.
MC saw the Ghost Academy earlier, so he knows he's committed to attacking now before his Templars start becoming more and more useless, so he's gonna go for it. This is it for MC. He needs to do a lot of damage.
This bio is really, really low here. How much more does Flash actually have in reserves? Not a whole lot. It's 68 army supply against 58. The reinforcements for Flash just aren't doing it. And he's on top of the third now. If he can kill off a lot of the income at this third base, MC is actually making this work.
He's coming in from behind Flash. He might go for the fight with the SCVs. They're getting chased down right now. He's hesitating. His army is not that big. 3-3 still on the way. He just got some Ghosts. I think Flash should just take it easy. He's actually flying his natural to the third base. I guess he could take the gold with another one of his CC.
MC has a strong army. His army is strong.
But it's only because of the Templars, and there is Ghosts now. So Flash can actually play passively, catch up, back in supply. And look, 3-3 is going to finish here in a second. MC is not going to start Colossus anytime. He gets a Dark Shrine because he knows it's a low eco game, and there are no turrets, which is smart.
That's a very good point. As MC now, the pace of the game slows down just a little bit as Flash recuperates his losses here, looks to move out into the middle of the map once again with these Ghosts that he now has, that extra little punch that he has in this arsenal, but at the same time, it's 6 High Templar. If they do divide themselves up nicely, land some good storms, Flash's army will evaporate. So Flash has to play this very, very carefully.
MC needs to pull back the Zealots here. I don't think they're going to do much. He has an observer right above the third base, so he sees if there are units or not. Should definitely wait until something moves out. I really like what Flash did, by the way. He loaded up a Medivac with no energy with units, and he's flying across the map, so feedback could not do much to that Medivac here. And it does look like we're going to have some kind of Colossus transition out of MC, but just on one Robo and not that high on economy. I guess he knows. You can't win with just pure Templars. It's just too difficult against somebody like Flash, who now has Ghosts.
That Robo Bay coming in, I mean, that could be a bit of a disaster here for Flash. It really depends. He's going to go for a drop on the right-hand side as well as the left, dealing with this Zealot harassment. Very good start for him. even if he can catch some Templars, that's nice. A Storm goes down, but it's not exactly the most cost-efficient Storm. You know, after getting a high Templar through that, that's not too bad there for Flash. He's evening up the supplies a little bit.
Definitely worth it. Some Bioforces in the main of MC looking for some auto-assist pylon. There are none.
Gets one, goes away. Just supply blocking MC slightly here as Flash now still, as you can see on the minimap, if you see these two balls of army on the left-hand side and the right, a little bit of a drop on the right, left as well, potentially. He's just constantly trying to bring MC everywhere on this map.
Flash didn't see the Robo-Bay, but I think he should be able to expect it. A Robo-Bay and Colossus is basically the counter to Ghost. So I think he's gonna wanna regroup and do a timing now, knowing that there cannot be any, if many Colossus. And so basically he's gonna reign supreme with the Ghosts, supposedly. If the scans are good enough, if he doesn't get stormed a single time, which again is very difficult, I think he just wins the fight and the game, but he's still behind in supply. And in terms of army as well, 124 army supply to 117, man. This game had a lot of hype going into it, and so far it's really delivered. Both of these players really trading blow for blow.
Grabs one Dark Templar. There's another two on the field here, though. There's one on the third base, trying to do a little bit of that for fourth base, even, I should say. With a missile turret trying to go up. One in the middle also got killed off by an EMP. Good move there by Flash. And overall, he is dealing with this extra threat that MC has put ahead of him.
I wouldn't mind a bunker here on that third base of Flash, just to make sure those next Zealots being sent in, which they will be sent in, because MC keeps on doing it. Could be defended easily against... we have one Colossus out, a second one on the way, Thermal Lance as well. And I think, okay, this is the timing, this is now. If Flash wants to make sure the fight goes well for him, there's no Colossus. Oh, he gets feedback!
Oh, he gets a lot of feedbacks there.
He doesn't have personal clocking.
Very, very vulnerable, but a lot of EMPs actually hit that army. The Bio's going to chase down. How much can he get done here? He still has a lot of EMPs available to him. He kills off a lot of this army. Does a wow, and killing off the rest of those Immortals as well. But now he has to find this small army at the third base. Storm prevents the chase. He saw a few of those high Templars at the front. The Ghosts are going to move forwards. Look for an opportunity here to land some EMPs. One Colossus is not enough to deter this army, but the Dark Templar in this force as well. He's doing a good job of trying to slow him down. EMP will clean that up. Grabbed a few EMPs on those high Templars as well. Very good start here for Flash.
He cleaned up some of those high Templars, but there's still 3 left with a lot of energy. Flash needs to be careful. He's gonna lose maybe the remainder of his units.
That was expensive. That was very expensive. MC is like a dog with a bone. If you give him it, he's not gonna let it go. He's just gonna keep on going, trying to chase down this army on the right-hand side. Once again, Flash now gone down in terms of supply.
He needs to pick up and evacuate. There is no stalkers here. I don't know why he's running away like that. I guess there is a base here which he wants to save. It's not the time to fight, Flash. You need to run away. There might be too much here for you, especially in terms of high Templar.
He needs more army. He absolutely needs more army. He's trying to kite back the Zealots, but a lot of big storms hit that army there. Again, plummeting in terms of supply. MC just keeps powering forwards, and the Colossi during all of this have basically been zoning him out, but that one Viking didn't get his job done, unfortunately, in the end.
There's no scans. There's no scans for Flash. The DT is having a field day here.
EMP, get it, kills it off.
I get it.
Now he needs to regroup. He needs to consolidate his losses here. Vikings are on the way. He knows that Colossi are a threat, obviously, in this matchup. But how can he deal with it when he has such little economy?
Especially if he finally gets enough Vikings to deal with the Colossi, he's still going to have to deal with the Templars now. And since he lost his entire Ghost count, he's now back to 2 Ghosts against 13 Templars on the map.
All right, once again, MC now just clearing up the middle. He has so much vision on that right-hand side. I can't accentuate that enough. He knows exactly what's going on this right-hand side. He has observed even a high Templar there chilling out. I mean, why not? And you know, that one's going to die off for its troubles, unfortunately, but we're not without a storm at least. But
ooh, some Ghost actually in the middle of the map here. Just right above the Templar. He's headed for them, for the feedback. He's going to get both of them. Oh my god, Flash not paying attention to his most important units here.
Has to be careful again, cleaning up the Zealot harassment on the left-hand side.
Fifth Colossus on the way now for MC. I mean, there's just not going to be any answer to this. MC could literally make Stalkers in support for those who already have Blink. Actually, a Medivac on the right-hand side is about to be caught here.
Flash only has 2 Vikings right now. 3 Vikings, I should say, with a 4th on the way. He does not have the firepower right now to be able to deal with MC's army. He's going to have to pull some trickery, if anything, to actually deal with the next push.
MC's a bit out of position. There's not that many Templars nearby.
He's going to actually try and get on top of some of these Colossi. One of them doesn't even fall. The firepower for them is too much here for Flash's army to actually deal with. The Zealots holding that back. MC has taken a significant supply lead here, and is pushing back the base again. Storm goes down, dealing a little bit with those Vikings, and now Flash is on the ropes. GG! Game number 1 goes to the boss toss and says, this isn't StarCraft 1, this is StarCraft 2, and here, I reign supreme.
Did you see how shaky MC's hand was? He's definitely got nerd chills. He was just drinking and man, was he shaking.
He knows that this game, as much as it's only in the round of 16, as much as this game is only in the round of 16, this is pretty important. MC, his entire reputation here as the boss toss against Flash, against a guy like Flash, it's there. This is that game for him. Very important. And he takes game number 1 over Flash. A great game, a great game.
A lot of cool moves from both players. You know, I like the ghost count that Flash got, but in the end, I guess the engagement that he took on the bottom right-hand side maybe wasn't good enough. It's weird because he crushed that army completely in the middle of the map, and then maybe he thought he had won already, and kind of relaxed, and then he just went to the bottom right-hand side of the map, got Storm and all of that, and he even had more army supply at the time. I guess maybe his ghost didn't have much energy left. Remember, he threw a bunch of EMPs inside of those Templars and got some of them, but there was just always more behind for MC. We never brought all of his Templars to the middle of the map to the fight. He made sure he always had some more behind so that if he somehow got caught and lost the fight, he could just pull back, make sure he had the Storms to cover his retreat. And in this case, he was able to hold against the big attack that Flash was aiming to win with later on. But a lot of nice holds from both players. Very quick reactions from Flash against all of the Zealots run by from MC. Even against the DTs. Like, those DTs didn't really do that much. What a game, man.
What a game.
To start this series.
What a game. I'm pretty excited. I don't know if you can tell that. I'm pretty excited. This is pretty cool. All right.
This is your excited face.
All right. Game number 2 is on the way in just a little bit here. Flash. He gave that a damn good try. Let's face it, he gave that a really good try. And he did not let up when he felt that it was his opportunity to take that game away from MC. But MC kept playing. MC kept on pulling. And he took the first game. So how is Flash going to answer that?
I tried to talk a little bit to Flash earlier, which proved to be difficult because he doesn't speak that much English.
Okay.
But I was asking him if he likes the late game against Protoss. I mean, like past the 20th minute, you know, when Protoss usually is going to be on a lot of base, have a Dark Shrine, lots of gates, and most of all, a lot of Templars. And his answer was pretty clear, no. He didn't want to go to the super late game. And I think the reason number 1, again, is going to be that amount of Templars that you can have on the map, that even though you can lose your entire army, that behind they're going to cover a lot of your movement. They're going to make sure that units of the Terran player cannot get in there and finish the game. And in this game, it was what happened. At first, Flash was very solid. He won that fight clearly in the middle, but then he's like, well, I can just finish it. I'm going to move across the map and finish him. Sadly for him, he just didn't have that much energy on his Ghost anymore. Not enough EMPs, not enough snipes. And the Storms held for MC, and then somehow from there was able to come back. So I really feel like his biggest mistake in that game was probably just going for the kill right after winning that fight, because not having any more energy on his Ghost just cost him the game. If he had just sat back, let that basically, I don't know, regenerate in terms of energy on his Ghost, and then goes for the kill a little bit later with, say, something like 7 EMPs. Because it really comes down to that, like, the pure amount of Ghost to Templar doesn't really tell you who's winning. It's in terms of how many Storms and feedbacks against the snipes and EMPs there are that really tells you well, what the difference is and where the lead is. And in this game, clearly, it was MC's.
Yeah.
Even after he held that, I mean, he warped even more Templars. He had so much gas. He was on like 6 gases because he had mined out the ones in his main. And he was up to 13 Templars instantly against only 2 Ghosts. Obviously, Templars, you can warp them in. They come out very quickly on the map. Whereas Ghosts, they take time to build and all that. So just very nicely dealt with that situation here by MC.
Well, Todd, in the chat, MC says, go all riot, as we get ready to go into Foxtrot Labs for our next map. Does Flash change it up here? A map with predictable spawn locations. Flash has been, known to throw any kind of spanner in the works when it comes to high pressure situations. But MC, That guy on the screen right now is the guy that leads 1-0 in this best of 3 in the round of 16, Group D, standing for death. Let's get into it. Foxtrot Labs is our map, spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner. He's your Red Terran. He plays for KT Rolster. It is Flash. And up to the top right-hand corner, currently 1 up in this best of 3. Our blue Protoss, it is MC!
You know, MC in the previous game played the one style that he's basically the only one that can do it, where you get blink first, then you go straight into charge, you get like 4 to 5 sentries, or even maybe sometimes a little bit less, and you have the force fields, the quad and shell that you can work with if you get attacked. And the thing is, a lot of players that try to do this, they forget about one detail here and there. MC is the expert of that build, and nobody else really uses it, and if they do, it's usually not nearly as good as when MC does it. So if you're Flash, you probably never really practice against that. He was like, well, you know what, I'm up against Blink. It's probably gonna be Colossus behind this. In the end, it was Templars. He saw the Templar archive, but chose to try and play without Ghosts for the longest time.
Yeah.
And you could tell he wasn't feeling very comfortable. Then when he finally attacked, lots of things happened, but overall, the Templar control in comparison to the Ghost control was much better. So you have to wonder, is that MC's solution to play against somebody like Flash? Does he think it's his best chance? I think it might be the case, and it proved to be true in the first game at least.
Yeah, I mean, you said it yourself. You know, MC came in with a game plan here, and he executed in game number 1. No matter what the mid-game looked like in that game, MC won. So that's it. So MC opening up with 2 gases here to start things off.
Yeah, could be going for something a little bit different here, with maybe something like a Stargate. Could be nice. I think it was Pig Baby who tried to pull off a Stargate on this map against Flash. It did not go well for him.
Nope.
Flash played a little bit shy, I feel, himself. Like in the start of the game, you know, he was just making a lot of units. Then he went in, forced the Vote on overcharge, and then for the longest time, nothing was really happening. He tried to drop here and there, and it's actually crazy to think that MC, even though he didn't really have that many observers on the map, his drop defense was ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
I mean, one player in a million can pull off what he pulled off, like in terms of not having vision, splitting his units properly. He left the Stalkers in the main and all that. So Flash, after a game like that, he has to be thinking, like, what really went wrong and what can I do better?
Well, overall, where's that probe going? Down to the bottom right-hand corner here. Again, we did see him throw down another pylon on the previous game, so...
He made a 3rd pylon in his main here, so he might be trying to sell a story.
Yeah.
We'll see if he goes for a pylon there in a second. He's MC only still on 2 workers on each gas here.
One thing's for sure, Flash trying to look around now, see what's going on. Sees pylon on the right-hand side, see pylon up to the north as well, making sure he knows what's up.
You know what would be good against Flash? Because he goes 3 racks almost every single time, and I don't think he gets an eBay very quickly. I think if you go DTs, I think you will do very well against him. You could really surprise and maybe win the game right out.
Well, it could be the case. You never know. We've seen quite a lot of Protoss actually experimenting around with the DTs as of late. MC, you know, mix them in from time to time, which is nice. There's the pylon now to the bottom right-hand corner. What is this going to be for? So far, he hasn't moved the probe from that location.
I think DTs would be good, but I'm thinking Stargates here.
Yeah. And trying to just jump on in. The thing is that the Flash in the past was using like a really quick +1
the
play.
Reaper.
Oh, he's going to get in again.
Gets in very easily, like just 2 shots from that mothership core, so he might even get out behind this.
But
2 Stalkers are now out. MC cannot mess up here.
At this point, so the Reaper dies, but at this point, he didn't really see where... He knew that there was 2 gases for a long time. I didn't really see where the gas was being allocated. So do you think this puts sets off alarm bells in Flash's head?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's already scouting on the left-hand side with a Marine. If he starts wandering out with that one and makes sure there is nothing on the bottom right-hand side and somehow spots that target on time, he's going to do fine. And you know, even before that, he already has Marines in the mineral line of his main. That's enough to defend against one Oracle.
Yeah.
He should leave the new ones in his natural, in the mineral line as well. And if an Oracle flies in, he should be able to defend quite easily. Now, is Flash going to scan? He's been playing pretty greedy in terms of mules and not scanning his opponent's main too much. If he doesn't scan and someone moves out and then an Oracle flies in, it's going to be a disaster here for Flash.
Yeah.
I think MC probably picked up on that as well, as much as DTs would be good here. And again, look, there is no eBay. I do think DTs would have been good. An Oracle is going to be good in the same way, just because Flash does not do all that much scanning past the initial Reaper. Still no scan.
Still no scan. First Oracle is now on its way. Second Oracle is going to be joining that in just a little bit.
Oh, he moved out a little bit of position here. Flash might start losing some SCVs before being in position to defend.
Nah. He felt that the time was over, I guess, for just a second there. Goes to the front, loses one SCV or so. Tries to head into the main, but the Marines are already there, ready to greet it. Oh, denies the building.
Yeah, micro mistake here by MC, who took way too much damage, and eBay is going to start behind this.
Second Oracle's on the way behind this, as well as a cannon going down in mineral lines, just to make sure nothing crazy is going on. But he just saw the progression of the factory.
He should have cancelled that.
Yeah.
He didn't need to spend that money on that. Twilight goes down quickly, and as well as double gas on the natural here for MC, who's, I think he knows that Flash is basically going to stay at home here for a while before he finally moves out. MC definitely needs to be looking to add some additional gateways here very soon to make sure he can keep up. Because in terms of army supply, I mean, we're at 30 against 18. We don't have combat shield yet. This time he went for Stim Pack first.
Oh, getting a few more workers again here is MC coming in. 9 workers gone down to start things off, and his entire army is out in the middle of the map here. He's losing lots of workers.
Flash is just going to counter-attack, and right now MC not seeing the units of Flash back at home. He knows that this is coming. He just has to get ready for this. He's only on 1 gateway. He does have the photon overcharge as well as the time warp. 4 stalkers and 2 sentries. Is it going to be enough? He comes back home with the oracles as well to help and support this.
Yeah, he needs a lot of units here. There's 4 more gateways actually going down between all this as well. 12 workers have gone down. Flash is looking to even this up a little bit. Gets right on top of this army as well. It was Guardian Shield, but he's actually doing a lot of damage to this army, and overall actually doing a lot of damage just in general. Gets up the ramp as well, out of range of photon overcharge.
7 walkers have been killed already by Flash. He's going to want to look to get more. Gets 1 more stalker. Flash evening the score here.
Yeah.
He's bringing it back.
Good move by Flash.
He killed 12
things up exactly. But he did sacrifice a lot of his army to do that. So, but by the time MC will get over the other side, you know, the army will still be replenished, and he should be okay.
Rip. Blink is gonna start here for MC, and who favorize basically this research every single time, as well as plus level 2 ground armor. And behind this, I'm pretty sure he's going to want to head into the same kind of game where he gets a bunch of sentries, goes into the charge right after the blink, and after the initial 8 to 10 stalkers, he goes into charge lot heavy, and then usually it's either Colossus or Templar. In the previous game it was Templar.
That's a little bit sad for Flash there. That because of the layout of that base, that gas is very, very far out from just one missile turret covering it all. So has to take precautions against it. He's actually looking to intercept there with Marines, or they were looking for the Stargate, whichever the case. Looks like the interception. And the Marine down to the bottom right should eventually spot that Stargate. So that's okay for Flash.
I mean, at this point it's not that important anymore, but I guess he could drop there and make sure he kills that. Barracks 4 and 5 before 3rd command center here for Flash. It's been the trend these days. A lot of Terrans do that. You have a lot of bioforces to work with. Especially there is a time in the game where if you don't fall behind, which Flash has this game, you're gonna hate that 80 army supply when Protoss only has 55. Then again, MC just plays so differently. He doesn't go for double forge. He doesn't go for Colossus often. And
how much did that just kill?
Not much. 0 actually.
Okay, phew.
What? How did they kill 0?
0.
They detonated.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. So
investigate, Kadaris.
No.
Maybe he sent the probe inside of the gas, but could he really have gotten both?
I'm not sure. Hallucinations, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, so cleaning those up, nicely done. Finishing that off with the Envision, and he actually did save the Stargate down to the bottom right-hand corner with a few zealots.
Those guys are dead, though.
Yeah, they are gone. Poor little fellas. So anyway, the thing is the armor and charge are just about to finish up. So he's at +2 armor right now, whereas Flash is only on +1 weapons. That's going to soak up a lot of damage. And MC, most importantly, is changing things up from the last game. He's going into the Robo Bay now. So we're going to see a little bit more of a normal game from MC, if you can call MC normal in any particular way, whilst all of this occurs.
Yeah, charge +1 here. This is very interesting. He wants to basically surprise with Colossus. Maybe hoping that Flash will go into something like Quick Ghost on 2 base and maybe an all-in, in which case, if you get 2 or 3 Colossus with Thermal Lens, you're going to do pretty well against that. Again, MC, somebody who defends very well as he attacks. So if he was to see exactly what he's up against, I do think he will do very well in terms of being well positioned, getting the right composition and enough units as well.
The thing is, though, is that, again, Flash really needs intel here. Flash really needs intel. He doesn't know that the Robo Bay is there.
Remember what I told you about hitting 80 plus army supply against 55? We're at 85 right now against 54, and Flash is gonna wanna look to hit hard before MC can get his AoE units. In this case, the Colossus, the first one is not even out yet. The Stalkers are in the main. MC does not see this coming. He didn't have any observer in position.
And he just moved his entire army down towards the third base, so he's going to be way out of position to actually deal with this. Widow Mines have set themselves up to greet this army. There goes the Guardian Shield. Force Field Layer gets laid down, but against these, it's not going to work out too well. He got the Robo Facility. GG! Flash ties up the series. It's as simple as that. Nice move by Flash.
As simple as that. Couldn't have said it better. Flash going for the timing that Terrans really do well with these days, where when you go for racks 4 and 5 like this, especially against a style of MC who basically just goes for gateway units for the longest time, and if you try and drop, he's going to be ready. He's going to do very well against that, but if you wait until you get that critical mass and you attack right before he gets either Storm or Colossus, that's when you're going to do really well. And MC being out of position here basically got punished for it immediately as Flash steamed in and sniped the Robo.
Good stuff. I wouldn't have it any other way than going on to a game number 3 as we have King Sage on station for our final map between these two. So, yeah. Pretty simple cut and dry game in the end after all that was said and done.
Do you think they finally mix it up? Because so far, both of them, even though MC went for Stargates, other than that, it was identical in the sense that he goes for Blink, then goes for Charge, and now he mixed it up by going for Colossus, but he still has his main go-to build where he goes for Blink first. Do you think they mix it up a little bit more in regards to that? Especially Flash. Flash is basically a Reaper into 3 racks every single game. Which
he is.
Every strategy in StarCraft 2 has a counter, every build. If you think about that, MC, as I told you before, he was one of those guys that told me, if you know you're going to face that, you can basically get a quicker second and third gateway, make sure you have a lot of gateway units, and then when the first attack hits, you just crush it. That pre-medivac timing. The thing is, a lot of Terrans, they go for what I just said, where basically they get the 3 racks, they get bioforces, and then instead of hitting the timing, they just sit back. And if you go for MC's counter that he mentioned before, with the additional gates and lots of gateway units, and the Terran sits back, you're in a lot of trouble. Because then you made gateway units, you neglected tech and upgrades, and they didn't do anything. So it's a big gamble in itself.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. The thing is that we actually just hosted the wrong map for one reason or another, so we're getting into merry-go-round for our final map between these two guys. And this is a very, very interesting map to actually end this series on. Considering the reputation that this map has, the Protoss ability to actually take a third base. So, I mean, talk to us about that a little bit.
The thing is, I feel like this doesn't apply nearly as much to MC. We've seen him in the past, I think it was a DreamHack against TY.
Okay.
He just somehow makes everything, he falls behind early on and somehow just makes the sickest comebacks. Just with his army control, his decision making, which is, I mean, nobody is nearly as good as this guy in regards to that. In those scrappy games, you know, where there's a lot of action. So MC on this map is definitely one of those Protosses that can thrive and use it to his advantage.
You stole the words from my mouth, man. I was about to say thrive on the kind of weird games or the games that come out like that. You're so right, absolutely right. That's what MC does. We've seen it time and time again in WCS Europe. We've seen it time and time again in all the tournaments that he has been playing across the globe. And
I have a feeling we could see something special a lot of MC here on this map, whereas Flash probably gonna want to go back to his go-to builds.
Just the normal.
Maybe something like a gas first really could surprise MC, who I guess he's been scouting, so it's not as good. If you play against a Protoss that doesn't scout, then that's when you can start doing crazy things like 2 racks, gas first, you know, greedy builds here and there. But MC has been scouting. And that was the map, by the way, on which Flash did lose to Zest against an Immortal Posh.
Yeah, he did. You're right. That Zest was the only Protoss to actually defeat Flash during the qualifiers for this tournament. The Protoss that fell to Flash were people like Dia, Pig Baby, Hero, CJ Hero, Classic. All champions. All champions. Let's get into game number 3 now as we have spawning up to the top right. It's our red Terran representing KT Rolster. It is Flash. And up to the top left-hand corner, our blue Protoss He is the boss toss. It is MC.
MC, who I fully expect this game to go for a scout once more, because this is a very important map to get an early scout on. It's a 3-players map. You don't know where your opponent exactly starts. I think MC is definitely going to be in his comfort zone if he can make sure that Flash, as always, goes for the Rax 12, Gas 12,
Yeah.
which is his go-to build. Then from there, you know, he could try and mix it up, maybe get a quicker factory rather than adding 2 additional barracks, but it's definitely his best build, so maybe he should stick to that and try and make a difference in a skillful game, you know, not just trying to trick his opponents. I mean, he's Flash. You don't expect Flash to play the mind games to, you know, to bring them to their limit in terms of trying to bring a surprise to the table. Flash is that guy who just can play standard very well, who usually studies his opponent very, very carefully as well, or at least in Brood War. I feel it was the case even more so than in StarCraft 2. In StarCraft 2, where he seems to have one main build that he's good with, and that he thinks is the most solid. But somehow, we're already seeing changes. CC first here for Flash, who's gonna have I guess, a smaller scouting capability.
Yeah. I've got to ask here, Todd. I mean, we've seen Flash actually open up a lot CC first on this map against Protoss. Basically, I'm guessing because of the potential of him not being scouted out that early. But MC is going to see this relatively early. So is there anything that MC can do here to be able to exploit this, or do you think he just plays from a deficit?
He already being on 2 gases, and actually he's doing 2+3. He could be going for something very, very aggressive. The thing is, there are not that many things that do well against a CC first, but look at that probe. I think we're going to have another Stargate proxy down the map. And if Flash somehow does not see this coming at all, if he doesn't scout, he could be in trouble. I expect that he will put his Marines in his mineral lines, but MC is one of those guys that always can go around, kill units here and there, and even sometimes do a follow-up with a massive all-in timing, Void Rays, Gateways, any of that. MC is that guy that will bring this to the table and make it work.
It's so funny how this has actually worked out, because the way MC is scouted is he didn't go to the base at all to see the command center first. So he is just blindly throwing down this pylon to the bottom right-hand corner without scouting his opponent down to the south. He had a game plan from there on out. And MC is just going to try and execute that, even though Flash technically had a bunker at the front for defense. And it's going to be Stargate pretty fast here in this game.
Oh, man. If Flash does not realize what's up here, and you know he's going to be completely denied that scout with the SCV, might not even be able to confirm there is no CC on the natural of MC. I feel like this could be a bit of a loss if there is the right selection of a build here by MC, who's still expecting a Reaper. If you look at the positioning of that Mothership Core and Stalker, he wants to make sure that there is no Reaper going up there, at least not getting hit.
Well, Nexus is on the way behind all of this. MC still doesn't know that he's playing from a little bit of a odd position when it comes to the economy, as Flash's command center is finished 2 by 2. The SCV's coming out.
Yeah, if MC does a lot of damage with the first Oracle, I think he just drops down a bunch of additional gateways and kills Flash.
Yeah.
A few minutes later. It's that simple for him. He does not like to waste time. I wonder if he actually waits for a second Oracle to try and trick Flash, much like in the previous game, you know?
Yeah.
The Oracle was late and Flash was out of position. So on one hand, it was the right move to the last game, but then Flash got surprised once by it. So is he going to be extra careful this time and maybe try and stay back at home?
He may keep. It looks like he's keeping it for now. It
Flash
looks like he's
scouted
keeping
nothing.
it.
He didn't scout a single building on the map. Didn't even bother try and go up that ramp.
Well, he always knew it was going to be denied. That SCV to the bottom is actually situated there, so you have a
Saving
little
up
bit of
Oracles.
around.
Even if they are...
he's saving.
There are not going to be enough Marines in the main. I don't think there are going to be enough Marines because Flash has to leave some of his natural. He's getting a second bunker now just because he has absolutely no info. So he's not scanned. He used all the mules that he had. And if 2 Oracles actually... 2 Oracles are going to
And a Void Race following it up as well.
I think Gateways and all in, man.
I think Gateways as well. The MC here is just going to go straight for it. 2
Flash
Oracles now flying in. He has to pull the Marines away. He knows he can't combat the 2 Oracles. This could be a disaster here for him. The Oracles,
MC missed micro.
Oh, they didn't engage at the same time. They didn't engage at the same time.
He missed micro for a second. He took a lot of damage on one of his of his oracles.
He
Actually,
could've-
SCV of Flash sneaked into the natural of MC. He's hiding in the corner right now.
Oh wow! He could have wiped out those Marines though with those 2 oracles
Yeah.
at the same time. But he mismicroed. He went in with just one of the oracles. It took a lot of damage, and then from there on, that kind of move was denied. As
Why is he getting 2 Void Rays and still not making gateways? MC is adding on additional gases now. I think he might go into a regular game, but then just wait for Flash to move out, send in the Void Rays to go into the main, to snipe that turret, and then let the oracles do the rest. This
so
is
he's not going to look for
here.
a bust or something like that. I mean, that's what we normally see from that.
Yeah.
But this is all right. Okay, this is interesting. Tries to poke in, does a little bit of damage, gets an SCV, gets on out, denying the building of that starport, which could be important here against Vikings.
This wasn't nearly enough economic
Void
damage. Killing 7 walkers, this brings SCV to the SCV count to 34 to 37 probes. So
He has like no gateway units at all.
yeah, I fully expect at least some of them to go down soon. But a 3rd Void Ray is being made now. I think MC is gonna realize in a second that Flash is moving across the map.
How do you deny this?
Actually, it's gonna be hard for MC to hold back at home. He needs to
Yes.
send back the oracles maybe, but they could be called by those units.
He has a sentry mothership core. He sees this army.
Oh
He
my
loses
God.
the oracle, but now at least he sees it. How is he going to react to
The
this?
Void Rays are going to go into the main of Flash. I'm not sure there's going to be enough here. There's just 1 turret, which is going to go down very rapidly against those. He uses the photon overcharge already. MC needs more gateway units. He starts the gateway now, but they're not going to be finished on time.
The Marines-
He needs to force field.
The Marines need to do something. They get the mothership core. Time Warp goes down, trying to slow all this down. But now he also sees the Void Rays going to work on all of the add-ons at his base. He actually just runs straight past the photon overcharge, goes straight into the main base, is looking for probe kills here wherever he can get
The
them.
Marines already steamed twice. They're going to have to steam 1 more time. I think MC is going to hold back at home. In the meantime, he's killing the barracks across the map.
They're very fast dying off here. If he actually gets all of the barracks, what is he going to do? Vikings are in production, though. He's not actually dealing with the imminent threat of Vikings that are on the way, but at the same time, 3 Void Rays, if they're camped on top of this.
This is the most ridiculous build I've ever seen, and somehow it's working here for MC, who had planned for everything.
What is going on? If he sits here, 4th Void Ray here as well, this isn't a team game. You don't just make Void Rays and win. MC here actually doing huge amounts of damage. And he gets on top of this. The Vikings are going to pop right on top of it. He needs to rally them out, and he does. He needs to keep those alive.
MC needs to kill more than that. He hasn't done enough damage just yet. It looks like he might be able to do more.
1 Viking goes down. He only has 1 Viking left to his name. That turret also needs to survive.
But Widowman is out. He's gonna place
Where is
that
it?
in the middle of the building. Oh, MC I think saw it.
Needs to be very careful about how he does this.
Is
but
Flash gonna hold?
in the end, right, okay,
He
let's
lost the reactor.
Right, wait. 36 workers to 39 workers in favor of MC right now. After all of that has been said and
It's
done,
not good enough, but he's gonna
No.
go for a bust.
he's going to try. Did we still have the bunkers there? There's only 1 bunker.
Salvage 1. Oh my god, and Flash is preparing for an attack in the main with a lot of turrets. They are not at the natural, those Void Rays. They're gonna have a field day on the natural.
He's going to bust this. He is going like.
Oh, and
There's
Flash
gonna be
gets an
force fields.
add-on on the factory with the reactor.
Here.
He gets too many turrets now in the main.
Flash somehow, some way is going to have to deal with this. There goes the Guardian Shield. There's only 1 bunker to be able to prevent this as MC now walks into the natural.
Knock,
Flash knows he's in a lot of trouble here. Throws the force field down on the ramp as well. SCV's absolutely helpless as that command center is going to fall. Flash now in desperation mode needs to find a way out of this. He's in a lot of trouble with no economy against what we're seeing here from Flash.
my God.
Another force field seals these SCVs to their doom. The Bio is trying to fight against this, but MC is resilient. He just keeps on
The
going.
Widowman are actually gonna friendly fire here maybe.
He needs to do something.
Get some of those SCVs.
Oh.
Flash trying to barely hold here.
Void Ray's falling. There's only 2 left here, but at the same time, army supplies only 18 to 15. He actually,
Flash is gonna hold.
the
He
missile
killed all of
turrets,
the Void Rays
they're
somehow.
able to do it.
But he lost his natural.
Yeah.
He's remaking a second CC now. Those stalkers against SCVs.
MC has done so much damage. GG! The game goes to MC. It's only the round of 16, but MC defeats Flash here, and he is happy. MC triumphant goes to shake the hand of Flash. It's not over yet for Flash here in Group D. But in the end, MC is able to take the win that he said he was going to take. He said it weeks and weeks ago when Flash qualified for this tournament. He said, "Bring me Flash." And MC delivered.
Flash versus Scarlet. It's gonna be the next match in the losers match, and MC will take on life. up next on the main stage. I don't think anybody quite expected this kind of a build. I did say MC might do something crazy on merry-go-round, but I don't think anybody, not a single person, would have expected Void Race to be made in this kind of situation. And you know, like, if you look at the game, you're like, well, this was just smart because he had planned for everything. He knew he was gonna barely hold back at home and Flash would move out. He already knew that Flash would move out before Flash himself knew that he would move out. And somehow the Void Race they just killed the add-ons immediately. The production of Flash is lowered. There is already 4 Void Race in his main. It's just so hard of a hold for him to make happen.
A brilliant series with an amazing conclusion here in Group D. That was only the start of the group pretty much, as we now head it over to Paul.
Thank you very much, Kalaris, and I'm with
GG,
the
man.
boss toss.
It's good.
Minchul, you said to us 2 weeks ago, I want Flash. I want Flash in my group. You got Flash. You killed Flash. Easy?
Actually, he's not easy, but I think my PBT is world best, so he has no chance. Sorry.
It's the first time I've actually noticed that MC has apologized for beating someone. That means you have respect for Flash, right?
Yeah, because he's God, so you know, some respect God. Yeah.
Okay. You don't want to be smited. You know, you don't want any lightning to hit you or anything from God.
Actually, you know, my long time ago, my nickname is Kratos.
Okay.
You know, Kratos killing every god.
Yeah.
So
you're a god
why,
killer.
Yeah, that's why I beat him. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to us about the game, the match. Why did you drop one?
First game, just I do my best build. I have a lot of confidence first game.
Yeah.
And I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And second game, I tried Stargate, and I didn't know his aggressive style.
Right.
He always attack after Stargate. So I lost second game because I lost many probe.
Right.
And third game, I know he will come. So Void Ray Betray. Perfect. Genius.
Genius Void Rays. Yeah. I like it a lot. So next up, Life. He's a young guy. Mm-hmm. Annoying, aggressive.
Yeah, that's true.
Hard to play against?
Yeah, maybe. But maybe I will kill his wife.
Okay, before he gets a chance to do anything to you. Okay. You've had a really good year. 2014's been a good year for MC. You won a big championship, won WCS. You've done well in other tournaments. Second in WCS rankings. BlizzCon, you're definitely going to go to BlizzCon.
But it's not enough, and I'm still hungry, so, you know, 2011 boss toss is best, so I want to try like that, so it's not enough for me.
All right, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the boss toss is through to the upper bracket final where he will play Life. Flash, unfortunately, drops down. Hold your breath, Canadians, to play Scarlet. And that's coming next.